हाय देयर गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल बाइट चढ़ो। और आज हम फिर से खेले जा रहे हैं गेंशिन इम्पैक्ट। तो गाइस काफ़ी दिन हो गए यार ये गेम खेले और वीडियो को डाले हुए, क्योंकि भाई मेरा रैम था जो ख़राब हो चुका था। और इससे पहले एक और वीडियो थी वो करप्ट हो चुकी है गाइस, तो कोई बात नहीं, उसे भी मैं किसी तरह रिकवर कर लूँगा। तो चलो आज ये मिशन आया है, आज कोई इवेंट आया है जिसमें ये मिशन आया। तो इसका मैंने एक्ट 1 कंप्लीट कर रखा है, पर इसका भाई वीडियो भाई करप्ट हो रखा है। तो आज हम ट्राई करेंगे कि उसका सेकंड एक्ट खेलें और स्टोरी कंप्लीट करें।
Hello again, Wangya. How's the Mingxiao lantern construction coming along?
अच्छा, पिछले बार हम लैंटर्न बना रहे थे ना यहाँ पे। तो गाइस मैं बता देता, जिन्हें नहीं पता, क्योंकि पता नहीं होगा, मुझे भी पता है कि यहाँ पे कुछ फेस्टिवल हो रहा है न्यू ईयर का, मतलब मान लो न्यू ईयर जैसे होता है ना त्योहार वैसा टाइप के यहाँ फेस्टिवल हो रहा है। तो यहाँ पे ये उनको इसे खत्म करना। हाँ, तो बोल रहा था कि यहाँ पे एक फेस्टिवल हो रहा है न्यू ईयर टाइप का, जहाँ पे ये मतलब लैंटर्न सब लोग अपना अपना लैंटर्न बना के उड़ाते हैं। और यहाँ पे एक स्पेशल लैंटर्न होता है बड़ा सा, जो पूरा शहर पैसा मिला के बनाता है, तो उसके बारे में पता चलेगा अभी। तो यहाँ पे क्या बोला गया है, द प्रोजेक्ट शुड बी कंप्लीटेड इन फ्यू डेज। ओके, तो ये बड़े लैंटर्न की बात की जा रही है यहाँ पे।
Rite is the main component of any Mingxiao lantern. Most of the donations we get from the city folk are either Mora or Rite.
Rite से कुछ
A lot
बनता
of them
लैंटर्न।
carve their
अच्छा,
heart's desires onto the Rite they donate, as a prayer for good fortune and other blessings.
ओके,
Paimon wants some good fortune too. Let's find some Rite and make a wish.
Since you seem so eager to donate, how about you keep your eyes open for less common varieties of Rite?
Rite चाहिए हमें
Those are the
लैंटर्न
ones we
बनाने के
lack
लिए।
the
ओके
most at the moment. One is called azurite.
ओके,
It is
एजुराइट
occasionally found in the northern part of Mount
ये
Tianhe.
बड़ा सा भी तो लैंटर्न
When
है, ये भी
azurite
उड़ेगा तो
gets
मजा
caught
आएगा
in the
देखने में।
roots of
अभी बना नहीं है,
ordinary
कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ है।
vegetation, it sometimes produces bloaty floaties, which have floating seeds. The other one is called vermilionite, which is extremely dangerous as far as most people are concerned.
तो ये तो हमें ही चाहिए, मतलब
In
परमानेंट
Great
लेके जाएंगे हम।
Plains, old ruin hunters who have lost the power of flight use vermilionite to keep themselves airborne.
Oh, we will head out to look for those then.
It's a tall order, but I'm sure you can manage.
ठीक है, हम ले आएंगे भाई, दिक्कत की बात नहीं। हम भी ताकतवर है, ऐसे थोड़ी कमजोर है। ओ यहाँ पे क्या कर रहे हो? तुमसे लड़ना है क्या? नहीं लड़ना भाई तुमसे, तो भागो भागो, एक फोकट में लड़ने आएंगे। आप परेशान करेंगे यार पीछे से आके। अरे मर जाओगे, एक हिट के हो तुम लोग यार, फोकट का परेशान मत करो। बोला हूँ एक हिट के भाई, एक हिट के मैंने कहा है, समझ नहीं आती भाई। तू भी जा।
Don't blink.
अरे मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, इधर आओ इधर आओ, लो
Nowhere to hide.
ये ले भाई फ्री में, निकल तू भी। और यहाँ पे हम कुछ करना था मेरे ख्याल से। हेलो, ओ अरे अरे अरे, मारना है। एक दो, और तीसरा कहाँ है? तीसरा कहाँ पे है? हेलो, थर्ड वाला कहाँ पे भाई? हो रहा, ये ले। और अबे कहाँ पे जाना है? और ओ यहाँ से हमें अजूराइट करके कुछ मिलता है, तो ऐसे ही हमें जमा करना है मेरे ख्याल से। अरे यहाँ पे तो भैया ये बड़ा वाला बैठा है यार, इससे डर लगता है भैया, उड़ता है क्योंकि हवा में, और इसे मारना बहुत ही हार्ड है, पता है। अरे यार तू परेशान करेगा भैया, तो परेशान करने वाले में से है। आ जा आ जा भाई, आ जा। इसका आग पे लगाना पड़ता है सामने, तो ये मरता नहीं है। अबे यार इसे मार। हो पर अभी कम नहीं। अरे अरे अरे, मारेगा क्या? इससे लड़के दिखा।
This is long overdue.
आ जा भाई आ जा, हम भी तक कमजोर नहीं है। अरे 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 भाई, मार दिया उसने तो।
Nowhere to hide.
इजी इजी किल था ये तो, इतना भी हार्ड नहीं था जितना मैंने सोचा था। चलो सर तक अब वापस जाना है उसके पास। भाई कहाँ था हार्ड, ऐसे ही हार के बिछा रहे तो। और गाइस तुम ये व्यू देख रहे हो? ओहो भाई, देख रहे ये व्यू कितना भाई अच्छा है। देखो भाई कितना प्यारा सा चारों तरफ भाई लैंटर्न उड़ते हुए एकदम। सही में यार कितना अच्छा दिख रहा है। देखो ना यहाँ से देखो, ओ फुल मून भी है ऊपर से, और ये देखो भाई इनको ऐसा। ओहो नाइस। चलो बहुत हो गया, इससे बात करते हैं।
Wanya, we're back with a fresh supply of azurite and vermilionite.
इजी था भाई, उतना भी हार्ड नहीं था, मुझे लगा हार्ड
I could
होगा।
count on you. Let me see. Yep, without a doubt, these are azurite and
काम
vermilionite.
हो गया?
But don't you want to make your wishes? You brought back just enough materials for both of you. Come on, get carving.
क्या करें हम उससे भाई? ओके, तो हम उसमें विशेष लिखे अपना। अच्छा, हमने उस पे अपना विशेष लिखा ना उस पत्थरों पे। सत्ता।
And you? Let Paimon see. Huh?
अच्छा ये that's my sister
Well, that doesn't sound like something you'd wish for.
अरे बोलने तो दे। That's my sister's deepest desire.
So you made a wish for her instead.
Yes.
Don't you worry. Paimon will help you find her, and we'll spend the next lantern right together.
ठीक है।
Then we'll release a gazillion shell lanterns to make up for all those wishes you've never had a chance to make.
Wish your will.
If you're done with your carvings, you can hand over your azurite and vermilionite to me.
ठीक है, कर देंगे।
Miss Wangya.
ये कौन आ रही है बच्ची? इसका भी दिक्कत होगी क्या अब?
Well, hello, Chang Chang. What's up, little missy? Can't find your granddad?
Granddad said he's busy and I should go play on my own. I want to make a shell lantern, but I don't know how.
सिखा दो भाई, हमें तो आता है, हम सिखा सकते हैं ऐसे।
Could you help me make a shell lantern?
Sure thing, but promise me that you'll go back home as soon as we're done playing. With so many people at the festival, your granddad will be worried sick if you stay out too long.
Thank you, Miss Wangya. I'll be a good girl. I promise.
So you know how to make shell lanterns too?
I certainly do. That's how I made my first Mora, helping visitors make shell lanterns by the docks. Ah, good times. I should really stay here to keep an eye on the girl. Hey, could I bother you to go to the construction site at the dock and gather some building materials?
ठीक है, कर देंगे भाई।
Great, thanks. I appreciate it.
चलो अब इनके लिए वो लेके आते हैं।
Look over there.
यहाँ पे कौन है?
Guy's acting very suspicious.
हेलो, आप क्या कर रहे हैं सर? आप क्या कर रहे हैं? हेलो हेलो।
Hey, what you doing?
आप क्या कर रहे हैं?
What you staring at me like that for? Get gone!
कपड़ा बेच तो ठीक रहेगा।
Huh? All right. If you all won't get gone, I'm just gonna get going myself, I guess.
वो तो पता चल गया, आप तो ये सस्पिशियस है बहुत भाई। सर से भाई वो
Paimon thought
बहुत।
he might be a shady character. Then he opened his mouth and now Paimon's
अब वो
sure
वहाँ
of
पे भी
it.
चला गया।
He must
तो ये
have been
भरोसा
up
नहीं है,
to
वो यही का हो
something
सकता
when
है
he was
मतलब।
crouching down on the ground. Because as soon as he saw us approaching, he stood up and acted all innocent.
पकड़ के पूछे तो।
Paimon has a bad feeling about
पकड़ के
this.
पूछते हैं। अरे
What
चलो।
could he be up to? Let's investigate.
चलो ना तो भाई, दिक्कत क्या बात? हम भी वही कर रहे हैं जो वो
Well,
कर
this
रहा था।
area is full of construction supplies for the Mingqiao lantern. Paper, oil. On the last day of the lantern rite, highly flammable nodes come out to watch
दोनों
the
की आवाज मिल
Mingqiao
गए।
lantern being released.
दोनों की आवाज मिल गए थे, सॉरी।
It can't be a good sign if there's a suspicious character lurking around somewhere so dangerous.
अगर यार वो यही का होगा, काम वाम कर रहा होगा, पता चल रहा है भाई हमारी बेइज्जती हो जाएगी।
Supplies.
फोकट के नहीं लगाता
Let's
है भाई
get the
इंजाम।
materials we came for first. We can tell Wangya about the situation when we get back.
Paimon, you are talking this very seriously, why?
Because
Khana?
everyone in Lila has worked really
Khana,
hard
khana,
for
khana.
this. No one should be allowed to spoil it, period.
What is the real reason?
Oh, fine. There's so many
देखा,
delicacies
देखा
in
भाई।
Lila Harbor. Matsutake meat rolls, Mora meat, almond tofu.
भाई पाइमन को बस खाना दे दो भाई, वो खुश। Are you reading those of a menu?
Did you get the materials?
Sure did.
Ah, yes, these will do. Let me make a shell lantern for Ching
There's
Ching.
more.
We saw a shady character skulking around the highly flammable materials at the construction site. He looked like he was up to no good.
I see. Okay. Please inform the Ministry of Civil Affairs about what you saw. I'll talk to Jingming. With so many people visiting for the lantern, right? We can't afford to ignore something like this.
Miss Wangya, is something bad gonna happen at the lantern rite?
Not to a darling little angel like you, Chang Chang. Come on now, good girl. Head back to your granddad and don't get distracted along the way. We don't want to make him worry.
वैसे हमें देखना पड़ेगा वो क्या करना चाहता था। पता चल रहा है बम बम लगा के भाई ये फेस्टिवल तबाह करने की कोशिश कर रहा है वो, है ना? हम यहाँ पे क्यों आए हैं? अच्छा रिपोर्ट करना है.
This is the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs.
We are here to report a suspicious individual.
Yeah, we saw a shady-looking guy snooping around near the stockpile of highly flammable Mingxiao lantern supplies. We must defend the grilled tiger fish food stall at all costs.
भाई खाने के पीछे क्यों पड़े?
Goodness.
ये पाइमन
This
तो
is a
खाने के पीछे
serious
पड़े रहते
matter
हैं.
indeed.
Exactly what Paimon thought. Liyue Harbor's cuisine is the
भाई
heart
पाइमन
and
को
soul
बस
of the
खाने के
city.
स्टॉलों के बारे में और खाने
It
के बारे
seems
में
we
बस
disagree
परवाह
on
है,
where
फिर
the
बाकी भाड़ में जाए.
seriousness of the matter lies. But you're not wrong, my little friend. Rest easy. The Ministry of Civil Affairs has assigned a specialist to keep the lantern Rite safe. I will inform him of this matter and order him to step up vigilance in due course.
In due course? This is serious. Why not get your butt over there and tell him straight away?
I wish I could, but he's yet to return. He's taken a small team to Guili Plains.
Okay, I will go to Gili Plains and tell them.
Huh? But you're a traveler, aren't you? You've come all this way for the lantern Rite, and yet you are willing
अरे
to
हमारे
lend a
पास
hand?
टेलीपोर्टर, हम टेलीपोर्ट करके चले जाते हैं डायरेक्ट.
Sure, we're experts in this kind of stuff. We lend hands all the time. Oh, like the time we...
Leave it to us.
Really?
Leave it to us.
Then we are indebted to you. Travelers are so kind these days.
अरे इतनी भी
yes.
तारीफ मत कीजिए भाई.
No commission
हमारी
should go
इतनी तारीफ मत
unpaid.
कीजिए.
I will take care of the compensation. Again, thank you both.
ठीक है, तो हमें अब जाना है गिली प्लेन्स में, जहाँ पे मिलेंगे हमें कुछ बंदे.
It's a
ओह,
really terrible
मुझे लगा
game.
यहाँ पे कहीं पे होगा, पर भाई यहाँ
So
पे.
many of them.
अरे यार यहाँ पे ये क्या कर रहे हैं?
Why would they gather together like this?
गप्पा करेंगे ऊपर से, पता नहीं चलेगा.
We can't let them get away with being a menace to
ये
the
ले.
people here.
ये ले.
Let's show them what we've got.
आ जाओ भाई, हमसे पंगे नहीं ले सकते. अरे यार इनके पास वो है ना यार, तोड़ना पड़ेगा इनका ढाल. रुक जाओ तुम्हारा ढाल तोड़ दो, मैं आता हूँ. ये ले. हाँ भाई.
We're way behind schedule. Access.
ये ले वो. किसको चाहिए भाई? फ्री में मार.
Speed of light.
और किसको चाहिए मार भाई फ्री में? अरे आप कैसे रह गए?
Don't blink.
ये बच जाते हैं ना छोटे छोटे.
Who are
GI
you?
centers.
Oh, thank you. If it weren't for your help,
अभी तो
today
भाई
may have
तेरा
ended quite
बजा पाव बन
differently.
जाता है यार हिलचल्स के साथ. What is it you are doing here?
I'm in charge of keeping the lantern Rite safe. A lot comes out of the woodwork at this time of year. There are thieves around every
हाँ वो तो
corner.
दिख ही गया था, एक तो मिल
I
गया हमें.
encountered one during my patrol just now, so I called a few men and we pursued
इतना
them
दूर आ
out
गया
here.
भगते भगते.
Once we got here, we decided to split up. I was searching
Oh,
this
तेरे दोस्त?
area. The thief seems to have made a clean getaway, and I sure didn't bank on these monsters being here. I was just assessing whether it would be better to send for reinforcements or find another way to disperse them. And that's when you showed up and dealt with them. And thank goodness. I don't know how long it would have taken for the others to get
भाई
here.
तेरा दूसरा दोस्त कहाँ है? पता चल रहा है वो
I
भाई
need to
कहीं
get back
फंस
to
फंस
looking
गया
for
है.
that thief. But thanks for your help. Until next time.
Wait a second. We're not done here.
अब निकल रहा था बोल के.
Is there something
There's a
else?
suspicious character down at the harbor.
Another one? It's interminable.
जा भाई पकड़
Right.
से.
When I get back, I'll get the other troops to be extra vigilant in the
भाई
area.
कोई भी आके घुस जा रहा है तुम्हारे उसमें.
In the middle of the festival, too. What are they up
बम
to?
लगाने की कोशिश कर रहा है क्या?
Do you get the feeling?
That the Ministry of Civil Affairs isn't up to the mask. Perhaps we should take this into our own hands.
Paimon thinks so too. With our wealth of experience adventuring far and wide, we should be able to get to the bottom of
ठीक है
this.
भाई हम पकड़ लेंगे भाई
So
छोड़ेंगे
let's
फिर.
go back to the
पता
place
चले
where
पहले
we
उसे करना क्या
witnessed the
चाहते हो.
shady-looking guy. Paimon hears from patrol officers that criminals love to go back for another look at the crime scene after the event. It's a psychological thing, apparently.
But the crime hasn't even happened yet.
That's why there's no time to lose. When there's highly flammable materials involved, once the crime happens, it'll be too
Okay,
late.
समझ गया पाइमॉन.
Aha!
और देखो निकला भागा भागा भागा. अरे कहाँ भाग रहा है? Should we chase after him?
Wait, there's another
कहाँ?
person.
एक और है भाई, कितने बंदे? अरे सियाओ ये तो. ये क्या कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे? आप क्या कर रहे सर जी यहाँ पे?
What are you doing
अरे
here?
हम तो फेस्टिवल में आए हैं।
Xiao, are you here for the festival?
I have no interest in Lantern Rite. I sensed a malign influence here. I'm here to investigate. When a shackle is loosened in the realms of deities and demons, I take full responsibility. But this time, the threat comes from the mortal world. Your world. Thus you shall take full responsibility, mortal traveler.
ठीक है, अब
When
उड़ा
the
देंगे
time
भाई।
comes, I hope you shall act promptly and decisively. I do not wish for the tassel of the polearm that has slaughtered countless demons to become stained with mortal blood.
What's this?
ये कौन सा
A
मार्क है भाई?
symbol
हाँ, ये
that your
मैंने देखा है
suspected
अभी।
evildoer left behind.
Paimon, do you recognize it?
Doesn't look familiar to Paimon.
Well, you will have to show me how much you can accomplish on your own strength.
ठीक है भाई, अब दिखाएंगे
Because if
power
I become
अपनी।
involved,
सुपर पावर
there is a
दिखाने वाले हम guys
possibility
अपनी।
that the streets of Liyue Harbor will be painted red this lantern rite.
Then it's up to me to avoid that.
Well, that sounds terrible. Let's not be impulsive. Why don't we figure out the origins of this symbol first? The one the suspected criminal left
ये तो बोल
behind.
रहा भाई कि अगर तुम नहीं पकड़े तो मैं सबको मार
Paimon
दूंगा,
has a
मतलब
sneaking
उसे मार
suspicion that
दूंगा।
Kaya will know something about it.
काया से मिलने जाएंगे।
Well, well. Long time no see.
Kaya! We went to the lantern right in Liyue.
Ah, well. How was it?
बहुत दिन बाद आया पर यार ये स्टोरी में ये काया।
Well then, you ought to be looking forward to Mondstadt's Ludi Harpastum. I'm sure it will be to your liking.
Get to the point, Paimon.
Right. Kaya, there's something we need to tell you about.
Lantern supplies. Stockpile of wood, paper, and oil. At the very least, it sounds like an accident waiting to happen.
बम लगाने वाला है मेरे ख्याल से तो।
How very
या कुछ और भी हो
amusing.
सकता है भाई, भरोसा नहीं है ना।
What makes you think I would recognize this symbol?
You are amazing at everything and we trust you.
Oh, that about sums it up.
I'm flattered. But don't you think you might be overestimating me?
There it is! At last! Kaya displays the knightly virtue of modesty, perfectly articulated and masterfully delivered.
My goodness. Your stay in Liyue seems to have sharpened your wit and broadened your vocabulary. Anyway, I digress. This is the symbol of the cross-border criminal organization you know as the Treasure Hoarders.
ओ ट्रेजर ऑर्डर
If
का
you are
सिंबल है,
curious to
मतलब
know
ट्रेजर
more,
ऑर्डर हो सकता है ना वो,
I
मतलब
can
बंदा।
put you in touch with an informant on the inside.
Didn't you just say the Knights of Favonius don't have dealings with their enemies?
This is my own personal informant. Nothing to do with the Knights of Favonius. A little later, make your way over to Windrise. I'll arrange for the informant to meet you there.
ठीक है, तो हमें अब विंडराइज भी जाना है।
Oh, and remember, wine begets wisdom.
मतलब
Huh?
मुझे नहीं समझ आया, मतलब कोई बताएगा उसका मतलब। ये रहा भाई हमारा बंदा जिससे पता है सबके बारे में।
Huh?
Hey! You're the guy, right? Kaya's informant?
Informant? Not
तो
me.
कौन है तो भाई?
But this is the place we agreed upon.
पता चल रहा है ट्रेजर
You're
ऑर्डर
the
है।
only other one here, so...
Place we agreed upon? I know nothing.
क्या पता भाई ये कौन है भाई?
Stop being so annoying.
Wine begets wisdom.
Okay,
Oh.
yeah, it's me.
वो कोड था वो।
Was any of that even slightly necessary?
What do you want to
ओके
know
तो ये
about?
बोलना था मैं, वो कोड था।
Here's the situation.
Okay, I see.
So, what can you tell us as an insider?
I do not think this is the work of the Treasure Hoarders.
तो किसका हो सकता
The
है भाई
reason
काम?
the Treasure Hoarders are able to sustain a giant cross-border operation is because they abide by one fundamental principle.
ओके तुमका कुछ वसूल
Caution.
है।
Softly, catchy monkey is the name of the game for them.
अच्छा
By contrast, the idea of taking huge risks to try and make a fortune is
तो ये नहीं कर
utter
सकते क्योंकि वो
folly in
अंदर
their
आ
eyes.
ही नहीं सकते ना, क्योंकि वो
Liyue
बहुत ही
has the
कॉन्शियस है ना अपने
adepti
काम को
looking
लेके।
after it, doesn't it?
अच्छा
And
ऐसा
they're
है ना
especially
तो वो नहीं
active
तो कौन है
during
तो
the
इसके पीछे
lantern
भाई
rite. There's just no way that they, slip of the tongue, when you've been undercover as long as I have. Where was I just? Oh, yes. There's no way that they, the treasure hoarders, would dare make a move during the lantern rite. Also, the treasure hoarders organization in Liyue recently received an anonymous letter.
Why would someone send them an anonymous letter? Trying to frame them?
तो ये हमें पता लगाना पड़ेगा कि क्या है भाई यहाँ पे
Nobody
क्या चल रहा है
knows.
असली में
But what I can tell you
क्या
is
हमें भी नहीं
which
पता
branch
लगा
of the
अभी
treasure hoarders has the letter in their possession. There. I've marked their location on the map for you.
Great! Well, Paimon thinks this was productive.
हमें जाके वहाँ पे
This is
लड़ना होगा
our
देखना
only
पक्का
solid lead. Let's not waste it.
है लड़ना होगा साथ
If
में
there's nothing more, I should get back to treasure hoarding. I mean, get
तू भी एक
back
treasure
to
hoarder?
those treasure hoarding lowlifes to spy on them.
तो मुझे लगता है कि भाई ये ट्रेजर होल्डर है तो पता नहीं क्यों और अपने आप को बचाने की कोशिश कर रहा है मतलब अपने ट्रेजर होल्डर से बचाने की कोशिश कर रहा है ऐसा लग रहा है मुझे
Sorry, pal, wrong way. Wherever you think you're going, it's that way.
But isn't that the way to Liyue Harbor?
Right. Here is nowhere. So the other way is Liyue Harbor.
If you're looking for somewhere to stay, I suggest you go to the Wangshu Inn. Fair prices,
तो
great
भेजना कि ज्यादा
customer
कुछ बचाने की कोशिश
service,
कर रहा है क्या
and a wonderful view.
पक्का ये कुछ हमसे छुपाने की कोशिश कर रहा है जहाँ तक मुझे लगता है So is the anonymous letter
How do you know about the letter?
पता है हम गॉड है
One of Liyue's adepti told us about it.
Did they now? I somehow doubt that.
You should not doubt it. It was I who sent them to investigate.
Oh
Any
क्या होने
further
भेजा?
questioning you may direct to me.
Did you just appear out of thin air?
That's an adult test for you
You're the vigilant Yaksha!
पढ़ती है भाई इनसे
What's your tone of voice? Or do you seriously want to pick a fight with an
अबे
adepti?
मरेंगे भाई क्यों कर
Okay, it's not that we don't believe you're an Adeptus. It's just... everyone needs to look at the bigger picture here.
As you well know, we treasure hoarders are no serious threat to anyone. We're petty criminals, that's all.
So, if you are truly an Adeptus, please show us some mercy, would you?
Of course. If it turns out you're not a real Adeptus.
Then please, don't blame our weapons for treating everyone
अरे
equally.
बाप रे लड़ना चाहते हो हमसे भाई आ जाओ भाई हैया 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 हमसे पंगे भाई हम गॉड है हम लिटरली गॉड है अभी तो हम लिटरली गॉड है आ जाओ देख लो डैमेज है ये ले ये ले
Born of ice and frost.
और ये ले और ये ले भाई क्या है यार इसे पावर ये ले
Disappear!
ये ले कहाँ गया भाई हेलो कुछ बोल रहा था क्या कोई भाई एक सेकंड लगता है इधर
Please,
आते
my
हुए।
heroic friend! An Adeptus buddy! Have
भाई
mercy!
पकड़ पकड़ के मारे
The
इधर
letter
हमने।
is drivel anyway. It's not worth an armed conflict. Just take it.
How about that? Paimon knew it all along. Let's see what they wrote.
I see.
मुझे ये भाषा नहीं आता भाई
Then let us send these two to the meeting.
मुझे नहीं आता ये
The
भाषा
sender may be plotting something truly diabolical for the lantern rite. It seems they want to burn down the entire city.
ओ पूरा
Great,
सिटी
everyone's
चलाना चाहते
happy.
हैं भाई उसमें फेस्टिवल में
You're good, we're good. However...
These two, they don't look anything like us.
किसकी बात कर रहे
We'll be fine. When we're in disguise, no one will be the wiser.
हैं
It still seems like a long shot to me, but with the help of an Adeptus, hopefully everything will turn out fine.
Well, the safety in Liyue is in your hands now. Good luck. Even the treasure hoarders don't want to see the city burned to the ground.
Then it is settled.
कोई भाई सार जलाना चाहता है पूरा भाई इस लैंटर्न वाले राइड के फेस्टिवल के आड़ में
What is it?
नेक्स्ट टाइम वी मीट
Huh?
लेट्स मेक इट समवेयर विद a view of the Mingzhou lantern
I am not partial to crowded areas, especially at this time of the year. When this
Yo.
matter is resolved, come to Wangshu
नहीं आ
Inn.
रहा मैं हट
In previous years, the Mingxiao lantern has been visible even from there.
अरे भाई कदी हो गया
He's vanished. Did he go back to Wangshu in
अरे
already?
हमारे जैसे पारो ना, हम भी तो
But
टेलीपोर्ट
the
करते हैं
time
यार,
mentioned
पाइमोन
in the
हमेशा
letter,
टेलीपोर्ट करते हैं, तुम्हें
that's
नहीं पता
today,
है?
isn't it? Come on, let's go to the meeting place.
हम भी तो वही करते हैं यार, हमेशा टेलीपोर्ट ही तो करते हैं। वो एक यही तो था जो भाई वहाँ पे वो चेक वेक कर रहा
All
था ना।
right. You folks from the treasure hoarders, yeah?
यस यस, हम
I
ट्रेजर
thought I
ऑर्डर थे।
insinuated in my letter there that you should have done like I'd done and put on a mask and a costume and so forth.
ये हमें
But
पहचाना
it
नहीं
seems you
भाई,
didn't all get the memo. It's pretty cool though.
पढ़े गए थे भाई,
Gutsy.
पता नहीं है भाई, मार खाने वाला है।
Well, guess what? We don't need to go sneaking around everywhere wearing disguises because unlike you, we would never do anything so shameful that we would need to wear masks while doing it.
फंस गए भाई ये बंदा।
Really? My speech and everything!
भाई ये तो सही है भाई, ये बंदा मस्त मास्क पहन के बैठा हुआ है। I think he just enjoyed dressing up.
Wait a second now. You folks ain't no treasure
अरे
hoarders.
पाइमोन यार
What
क्या
game
कर
are you
दिया?
two playing?
अबे यार लड़ना चाहता तू सही में, लड़ना चाहता सही में। ये ले, ये ले और ये मरा। 4 हिट का बंदा भाई, मैं क्या करूं?
Tell us your diabolical plan now!
Okay, I give up.
Give up now or feel the wrath of my Paimonial!
पाइमोन तुझे खा जाएगी भाई।
You're giving up just like that?
गिव अप तो कर दिया उसने ऐसे।
I'm just a lowly apprentice thief who really looks up to the treasure hoarders.
तो तू वहाँ पे जाप क्यों कर रहा था भाई? क्या करना चाहता तू वहाँ पे?
Yeah,
दिक्कत चल रहा
for
है।
a greenhorn like me, especially working on my own and all, the treasure hoarders, man, they're my heroes.
वाओ, विलन को इसने अपना हीरो बना रखा है।
So I thought I'd try and set up some sort of lucrative opportunity and submit my pledge of loyalty.
क्या करना चाहता समझ नहीं
Wait
आया
a
तो।
second. None of this is making any sense.
सही बोला पाइमोन, मुझे भी नहीं समझ आता है
Expecting
क्या
the
है।
serial arsonist to be someone more sinister, evil looking.
But we get
instead,
you.
We get you.
वही तो।
Arson? What the heck are you talking about?
Don't pretend. Paimon's seen you loitering around piles of highly flammable materials.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. But I was only checking the place out.
ऐसे घुस घुस
My plan ain't got nothing to do with those lantern construction materials.
Are you serious?
सही में भाई।
Well, I just wanted to nab me the biggest chunk of plaustrite in 20 years is all. I was gonna wait till nightfall, chop off half the tethers, float it out to sea.
वाओ।
Oh.
Then, all
पकड़ो
I'd
इसे,
have to
पकड़ो
do
इसे।
is find some
चुराना
way or
चाहता
another
था,
of
तो चुरा
bringing
रहे
it
थे।
down, so I could hide it underwater in the shallows.
अंडर वाटर
The
कितने साल,
perfect crime.
कितना टाइम तक तू सांस रख सकता है ऐसे?
For a perfect crime, it sure
वही
is
तो,
a lot of
पहली बात तो
holes.
नीचे नहीं आता है,
For
बहुत टाइम में नीचे
example,
आएगा।
how exactly were you planning to bring down the
वही तो,
prostrate once it
वही
was
तो
in
नीचे
your
आता
form?
नहीं है, वही तो बोल रहा
Well, I
हूँ।
was still in the process of figuring out the details, hence why I hadn't made my move yet.
भाई और अंडर वाटर कितना टाइम तक सांस रखता हूँ, पहली बात।
Okay, let's teach him a lesson.
अरे बाप रे, बंदा भी है भाई, अनोखा है।
Now that the Millilith have gotten hold of that idiot, let's head back. We can notify the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
Traveler, word spreads fast. We will keep watch over the thief. Thanks for your help.
वो थी भाई कुछ
Looks
नहीं
like
था।
the Mingxiao lantern will be
बता
ready
दो भाई,
soon.
बता दो।
A critical juncture. We cannot afford the slightest interference.
On the topic of keeping lantern right safe,
Rest easy. Word was passed up the chain. Another
अरे
group of very
भाई,
capable
हमने कांड,
troops have been brought in.
हमने तो कांड कर दिया
They're
भाई।
dressed as ordinary citizens. You
Oh.
wouldn't notice them in the crowd. If anyone dares make a move, they'll be on them in an instant.
वो तो अच्छी बात है, पर भाई बता दो यार,
That's
बताओ
sorted
जल्दी,
then.
ये बेइज्जती का
You two get some rest. We'll take it from here. Enjoy the lantern rite in peace.
इसे पता नहीं है क्या?
So, Paimon supposes that's taken care of then.
Okay, so if only Xiao were here to see the Min Xiao lantern.
Paimon wishes so
हाँ बस यार वो
too.
शर्माता क्यों भाई,
Guess he won't make
निकलता ही
it
नहीं है,
this
भगवान है
time.
मतलब निकलेगा नहीं क्या?
Wait, do you remember what the inspiration for the Mingxiao lantern was?
An adeptus नहीं, मेरे ख्याल से adeptus तो बिल्कुल नहीं था, वैसे किसी की याद में बनाया गया था, वो हिरण था, वो भी तो adeptus, तो adeptus ही बोलते हैं।
Yeah, with a name like Skybracer or something.
Okay.
So if it's modeled on an Adeptus, maybe Xiao would be interested this time. On the day the Mingxiao lantern is ready, we can meet him at Wangshuin like he suggested, then try to persuade him. Even though he said you can see the Mingxiao lantern from Wangshuin, we should get up close if we want to get that festival atmosphere.
ये तो सही है भाई, पास देखने का मजा ही कुछ और है चीज़ों का। तो यहाँ पे हमारी ये स्टोरी थी वो कंप्लीट हो चुकी है। तो गाइस आज के वीडियो के लिए सिर्फ इतना ही। अगर ये वीडियो आपको अच्छी लगी तो लाइक कर देना, चैनल पर नए हो तो सब्सक्राइब कर देना। तब तक के लिए जाओ मजे करो यार।